What's up, guys? So women have been independent, more or less, for a while now, so why don't we have a quick look at the results so far. Number 1, an ideology gap is opening up between young men and women in many places, with women becoming more and more liberal, leaning towards what they call progressive ideologies. Others would call them degenerate, like the LGBT, and men becoming more and more conservative, leaning towards traditional values. Here's another one, number 2. Number of marriages declining. With sexual freedom, of course, come many short-term relationships instead of long-term committed partnerships. Which leads to our next point, declining birth rates across the world. According to the World Economic Forum, the fertility rate halved over the last 70 years. And they even mention some of the reasons, starting with empowerment in education and the workforce. Because as we all know, working for an employer is empowering.
But working for a family is drudgery.
According to them. I don't think so. I mean, it makes sense. It takes a lot of time and energy to raise children. But they are a blessing. Did you know that? Just to remind everyone, they really enrich our lives. They bring life and joy and color into our lives. Anyway, and the last point is women's overall happiness has declined since the 70s. The paper, The Paradox of Declining Female Happiness by Betsy Stevenson and Justin Wolfers explores how, despite significant advancements in gender equality over the past few decades, women's self-reported happiness has declined both absolutely and relative to men's. This paradox highlights a discrepancy between societal progress in women's rights and their subjective well-being, raising questions about the unintended consequences of these changes and the complexities of balancing work, family, and personal fulfillment. It seems like independence is not really conducive to her overall well-being and happiness. Maybe because she was created from Adam's rib, peace be upon him. Anyway, everybody's free to choose what they want to do. But guys, to conclude, I want to mention this, that addictions literally make our brains more immature, okay? So we're not making it easy for women either to depend on men, if most men are addicts to things like porn, weed, drugs, alcohol, fast food, gambling,
Sports betting.
You know, what percentage of men isn't addicted to a thing right now? Okay, we must also understand that if you want women to depend on you, well, you first of all have to become dependable and fix yourself and stop being immature. And yeah, according to the science, addictions are what cause hypofrontality, which, immaturity of the brain. So let's not forget to work on ourselves, dear people. I mean, imagine if you had a daughter. Really imagine it. You wouldn't want her to have a man who can't stop looking at filthy things on the internet, do you? I don't think any normal man would want that, alright?
So let's always try to work on our own weaknesses, and with God's help, we will overcome them.
Peace out!